Welcome to Offgrid Victory. Just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on here on my 16 by 8 shed. So we are drywalling this shed. Insulation has gone in, and unlike the traditional horizontal lay of the drywall, we're just doing it vertically. It's such a small space, it really doesn't matter. Obviously you want to use a horizontal lay on your drywall in order to hold the weight of the drywall, make the seams nicer to the eye. And so yeah, horizontal drywall laying is definitely the way to go, but in this case I'm just doing it vertically. Not a big deal, and really does work fairly easily on this structure. The other thing is I had a lot of space to put the drywall screws in this particular structure because I am using a horizontal lay on my 2x4s, and so I had a full 3.5 inches to screw onto in terms of the walls. But on the ceiling, that wasn't the case, and so here's one ceiling joint, here's another. So in doing drywall, you want to keep joints as tight as possible. And if you make mistakes, yeah, joint compound will take care of it, but you don't want to put huge gaps into your drywall when you're doing it. And so if you keep your drywall seams tight like this on the ceiling, well, you can go right in the center like here. I put one screw and that held this drywall up while I was able to get the screws into the sides. This particular side of the drywall obviously is the tapered side. And if you go tight to the end of the tapered side and you have another piece of drywall tight together on it, you'll have less chance of blowing that seam out. Now, if that seam was cut and I put a drywall screw that close, it would definitely pop that all out. And even if you use the seam side, the taper side, you still can pop out that screw. I'll give you an example. Let's see over here. So for instance, right here you can see, oh, maybe this is a better example over here. So even if you have it tight together, you may have on occasion where you blow out a seam. But like I said, keep that tight, seam tight, less of a chance of that happening. That's still going to be able to hold though. So keep those joints tight. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is, yeah, if you do have, let's say, more than an 1/8 1/4 inch gap, go ahead and put a little piece of drywall on it like that. That'll prevent you from using excess joint compound or mud. The other thing I wanted to say is, when the key to properly hanging your drywall, wall, or ceiling is to make sure that you have direct contact with your 2x4s. And so you want it, when you do that, you don't want to over screw in and puncture through the paper side of your drywall. Like here, I did that. I over screwed, it went straight in. It really didn't have the right surface tension to hold the drywall in place. In fact, that did nothing. So I just worked that screw out, went about 1 inch away, and put it slightly underneath the surface of that drywall. Just basically dimpled it in. Now I can just go over it with spackle and that'll cover it. And so, yeah, there still needs to be corner tape that has to be done throughout. I'll probably use a tape that has the metals on each side for more rigidity. And for seams, seams like that, any of these seams, I'll probably use the mesh fiberglass tape to do the joints, and then and of course regular spackle joint compound. Now, so I probably won't put that in the video. It's kind of boring, spackling. It's meticulous work, it's laborious work, it's not very fun. The professionals make it look easy, but I'm not a professional. I've done lats, I've done plaster of Paris, I've done even drywall, but it's one of those things where, hey, if you don't do it often, like myself, you're just a hack. So just do it a lot of times. Don't be frustrated with it. Make sure you sand it each time very well. There's no need to popcorn this thing, okay? Like, that is one sign of a bad spackle job or a ceiling or a wall. that's gone bad. Yeah, don't spackle the structure. Get some nice even seams on this. Make it nice and smooth, and then you'll get a very good product at the end. Alrighty, shalom.